Rabbitohs Radio Podcast, the number one source for everything South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Welcome to another edition of Rabbitohs Radio. My name is Grant Chappell, joined by my loyal co-host and friend Darren Browny Brown and Big Lez from Big Lez's Rugby League Podcast. The trio's back, boys.
The trio's back, and g'day to all you guys, and g'day to all the viewers out there who have jumped on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly, guys. Good to be back. Keen to get stuck into this game. It was an absolute pearler.
Now, hang on. Where have you been, mate?
Where have I been?
We've been trying to track you down for months.
Mate, I came back the other week, didn't I? I've just been playing a bit of footy.
It was easier to find Osama bin Laden a few years ago.
The fans have been calling for you too.
Just been training on the Tuesday, so obviously I haven't had a chance to come in, but
quick update on the team, mate.
6-0, 6-0 for the 21, so we're doing really well.
There you go.
Got the bye this week, and then the long weekend next week, or vice versa. So maybe a 2-week benders on the cards. We'll have to wait and see.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got to play up like a second-hand victor when the bye comes up. You don't get too many opportunities. You stay on top of your fitness, but yeah, obviously a bit's happened over the weekend. We had all three grades, and the Warriors touched us up in all three grades pretty much. Not touched us up, but they beat us. So we've also got Team List Tuesday. We might just go to a quick recap first, boys, because we haven't had a chance to get together. It's been a Sunday afternoon game, and it was a 36 points to 30 thriller in the end. I guess periods of the game there we were on top, and there were some long periods of the game where the Warriors were on top as well. But the boys showed a fair bit of fight and almost could have came away with that one at the end, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought we started the game really well. I thought we had a lot of momentum. We had a lot of field position. We led 12-4 there at one stage, and I know Wayne said there was a period after half-time where we lacked a little bit of concentration and sort of like lost momentum. But I believe it was probably 10 minutes before half-time. If you take the two tries that they scored before half-time and the three pretty much after half-time, they scored 5 tries in 25-minute period. And I believe that's where we lost the game. A couple of little incidents that, we'd like to take back, and we might have gained a little bit more momentum, but we were coming home the stronger, and we just run out a little bit of time. I thought if it was another 5 minutes, we'd probably win the game.
Well, look, I think you said it perfectly there. Like the last 10 minutes or so, the first half, the end of your first half sets you up for the second. So I think it was a little bit of that. I think there was just a little bit of, as you said, lack of concentration there, a few silly penalties errors. And allowed them to really get into the game, and especially when you've already got guys like Metcalf and CNK having really good games as well. When you allow those guys field position and ball, it's pretty dangerous, and obviously things like that can happen.
Yeah, they were pretty strong. I mean, the fella at the back, Chance Nickel Clockstad, he was pretty impressive, wasn't he? Look, they got off to a good little start there. I think they went for a little challenge, on a knock-on, and ended up winning it over us. And pretty much one play later or 2 plays later, they kicked for the corner and outleapt AJ, and they were away there with Dallin Watin, Zelezniak getting them on the board early, boys. Yeah, it
was a perfectly executed play. I'm sure they would have practiced that many a times. They had body in motion. It was a planned move. They isolated AJ one-on-one with the winger, and Dallin was always going to outleap him when he was coming forward. It looked like they were going to run the ball. They were set up as if they were going to run the ball. And that obviously committed our outside men to the opposition players. And like I said, they isolated AJ, and the cover just came across too late. Trell got there late, and Isaiah Tass got there late.
Well, they were setting up for a block shape to go out to that right side, yeah. So they had that lead runner running in, and the way that he was shaping the ball, it looked like he was going to just poke it through and let that lead runner chase it. So it was good deception in that. Some of their set pieces over the weekend were really crafty.
Going to be a player, isn't he? I think he started off a bit rusty in round 1, but ever since then he's really gone. I think when the Dally M points went behind closed doors, I think he was in top 2 or 3 there. He would have polled heavily in this game.
Certainly did.
He had it on a string, and we fought back pretty well. I thought the first 30-odd minutes of the game we were pretty much on top, and the scoreboard said that. And Keaon went up there, little power play. I think it was Hubby went to the line, just tipped it on to Keaon. He was too big, too strong, twisted out of tackle, and we're away then.
Yeah, exactly what I had in my notes, chaps. Too big, too strong. Left a couple of the New Zealand players in his wake on his way to the try line, dragged a couple over as well. And he's in some really good form at the moment. Keaon, he's been outstanding the last couple of weeks since he's been moved to the middle, and was a master stroke by Wayne Bennett to move him there, and another big performance on the weekend, and came up with a critical try.
I mean, as a bit of a selfish South Sydney fan, I sort of don't want him to get picked for Origin, but like the way that he's playing at the moment, and with Barnett out, you'd have to consider him, wouldn't you?
Oh, what? Yeah, well, with the talking points, we'll get into that one a bit later on
right.
with a few
Sorry,
of our
Chaps.
guys. All good, but
a bit early,
Big
mate.
Les, eh? Not following the run sheet.
he's gone off early.
Give me the keys, Chaps. Give me the keys.
And Bailey Bentley Harper, no try a bit later on. I think that was a really good passage of play there. Trell was involved. He hit a few blokes short, and then he doubled back around and put Bailey Bentley Harper down the side. And I thought he had an opportunity to pass it back to Campbell Graham on the inside, but thought he could do it all himself, and ended up dropping the pill.
Yeah, well, I was the same understanding as you, Chaps. I thought he could have passed it inside. There was a little bit of traffic and some players covering on the inside. Could he have got a clear ball to Campbell Graham? I'm not 100% sure, but that was one that went begging.
Yeah.
And that was
An
where
opportunity.
I think we started to lose momentum from that point onwards. We made another error pretty much straight after that, and then another couple of errors they compounded, and then the Warriors got back on a roll.
Yeah, and it's a confidence thing, right? Obviously, you make these sort of errors compounding, and you just have that mindset. And if you don't let it go, really, you can just keep doing it. And that's what it sort of felt like, obviously, with that no try. They lose a bit of confidence in their attacking shape with that, do some silly things in defence. And, obviously, once they start to compound and you give the Warriors too much ball, we sort of said it at the start.
So physical, aren't they, the Warriors? So big, so physical. Well, they're peppering our line, and then that's when it looked like they were going to go in, but AJ just picked their pockets and ran their length. And it was great to see him stride out at the ground in full flight. Haven't seen him do that for a long time. And look, he had a real jump on everyone else. Only RTS was the only one that could get across to him, but he was too quick for old Roger in the end.
Oh, he's done it many a times, hasn't he, Chaps? And he's 200 tries that he knocked up over the weekend. He would have taken many intercepts in them tries. So he knew exactly how fast he had to get to the line. And like you said, there was cover coming across. I thought he was going to get to him at one stage, but AJ just had too much start on him, and he put it down for, that was number 198, I think.
Yeah, 198. And then the Warriors got up the other end, and it was a double kick try. I think it was they did a bomb, and was it RTS outlet Trell? I'm not sure if there was a bobble in there, and it sort of went along the ground, and we had an opportunity to pick it up. We didn't. They picked it up, and which back row was it? He come through and kicked it. Might have been Ford or something like that. Kicked the ball across field, and Rocco Berry just slammed it down with a bit of a scrappy sort of try. That one. That was a real frustrating try. One of the many frustrating tries in the game.
Oh, that was sort of like got him back on a roll, wasn't it? And the play you were talking about, I think Bailey Bentley Harpy needed to dive on the ball. There was a lot of interference around there. It would have been our ball.
Yeah.
Instead, he tried to pick it up. He just needed to dive on it. Would have been zero tackle, and we would have been off and running. But Isaiah Tass fell over. So a lot of things happen. If Isaiah Tass doesn't fall over, he slipped over when he was turning. He might have got to the ball firstly, and then it's just unfortunate. But it was a scrappy try. But they're the ones that get them on the board. Yeah,
look, and just a little bit of inexperience there, but like you'll learn from that sort of stuff, and obviously we'll be better for the run. But yeah, I mean, super scrappy try, and certainly gave them a lot of confidence as well. Like the Warriors are so good in second phase, and when things aren't maybe going their way, and the attack is not really with them, they are really crafty and can find ways to sort of make things work out in their favour. So I guess that was a great example of that too. And
we lost Latrell's bit of a double blow there, and off with I think a hit across the chops there, and they thought they'd better check on him, and we lost a bit of momentum there again, and then it was just a simple try, that one, just a 2-pass shift, and Charnsley Clockstead comes off the right foot and beats Tass and Humphreys to the line, and that looked like a little bit too simple too, didn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was, and like you said, it was just a simple play. We had numbers out there and a little right foot step, and he went through Tass. I think Humphreys was coming across in cover, got there a little bit too late, and we go into the break behind.
Yeah, again, just I wouldn't even say a little bit of an experience, because Isaiah has played enough games now, but it was just a really soft try to let in before halftime, and we sort of spoke about it too, Brownie. You the end of your first, it sets up for your second, and it was sort of the way that the game really turned out there. Obviously, wish we could have maybe ended that first half better, and probably would have been a different result.
14-12 into the break. We come out okay early in that second half. Had some opportunities, didn't take them. Then the Warriors end up getting up the other end of the field for a real great power set down the middle. And it was Wade Egan had 3 touches in this try. He jumped down to dummy half, jumped out to the left, split the markers, passed it back to, forget how to pronounce his name, old mate Dominico, I think is number 16. He's done an offload off
Big
the
Dimitri
ground. Valmunga, Valvy. Got it back to him. And then it was Egan touched it again, hit another guy, offload, hit another guy, ended up being Lecky Halasima. And it was Junior Satola who missed him and wasn't able to plug that hole. And old Lecky Halasima, what an athlete he is, come back to where the space was. Pretty simple try again.
Well, we had 10 opportunities, chaps, to shut that play down. And like you said, it went through several sets of hands and a lot of offloads and a fair few missed tackles in that period. And, it's just one of them tries that we've got to get better. We've got to get better in them areas. And like you said, Junior missed him, and you can see on the tape he sort of like walked for a couple of steps, and that's where the hole was. If Junior would have kept pushing towards the ball, he might have got there a little bit earlier. He got there too late. But
Look, it wasn't all Junior. There was a few other people who had their hands on that try as well. Yeah,
there was 10 opportunities to shut the play down. I went back and had a look at the try, but it's just we've got to get better in them areas if we want to go on to win games.
Yep, 100%. He's a great player though, like Alasema. I'm not sure what his eligibility is looking like, but he certainly wouldn't look out of place in a Kiwis jersey by the end of the year too. He's real good athlete.
Most Kiwis are Queenslanders too, aren't they?
I know, mate.
They might throw him in the Queensland team,
I'm
mate.
sure Billy might give him a buzz. Yeah.
They're looking for some forwards, mate. They can have him. We'll keep Jairo. Because another thing, when Jairo went off, mate, they scored a lot of points. He did a lot of defence. I think he was 9 or 10 tackles in the first 10 minutes, Jairo.
Yeah.
He was outstanding again, Jaisy. And, there was another try down the other end where Metcalf basically just got it one out from, was it off dummy half? Then he ran the length or one out? I think everyone went up past him and he went down, but that was a drop ball by Latrell, but he threw it up pretty high above his shoulders there. I mean, pretty tough ball for Latrell, I guess.
Well, it was a tip on from Keaon, wasn't it, to Latrell? And like you said, the ball was a little bit high and then hit the deck, and the Warriors pounced on it. Metcalf went to dummy half. We didn't adjust quick enough. The markers weren't really set. No. And our A defender came up and took no one.
Yeah.
The golden rule is take the man with the ball.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Metcalf just strolled through and run probably nearly 70 metres to score untouched.
Yeah. You definitely got to be a bit more tighter at A, and especially when the markers don't get there in time, you've got to be switched on enough to take that man. And Metcalf unfortunately got straight through and runs the length.
Yeah, and then there was the RTS try again as well, and that sort of kicked him out to a decent lead there. What was that, 30-12 at that stage? And it was looking like it was going to be all one-way traffic. But the boys started having a crack.
No, well, like they have been doing for the last 3 to 4 weeks, or pretty much all year. They haven't give up.
Yep.
And they just kept trying, and hopefully things were going to turn around, and it started to. We started to get a bit of momentum, and AJ.
And it was. I mean, that RTS tried the first one. It was just a big man on small man, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah.
I mean, Jai sort of got across just in time, but he just wasn't able to do anything to Big Roger, the veteran winger. It's so you know what? That's one of the better games I've seen him play this year, and he's one of the real greats of the game. I think Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. So look. I know it was against us, but it was good to see.
Yeah, he certainly is.
And he's a gentleman too, you know.
I want his meal plan. He's got a good rig on him. I think I definitely.
He's so fit, isn't he?
I'd love to get the meal plan to the bloke. Get those biceps going. Tell you what, can't get Humphreys, but I might be able to pass up a Roger.
I don't know. Have you seen he does a recap on the game every week?
Yeah.
Do you see his recap this week?
No, I haven't seen it.
It was all about the whole game plan was to shut down Latrell. Well, they didn't do that in this next period of what we're about to talk about.
No, well,
it was all about Latrell, the whole game plan. So anyway, then there was that magic pass there from Latrell, wasn't it? Just another cut-out pass where no one else could get it. It got him on the outside of Zelezniak, who was coming up a fair bit during the game. He still had a bit of work to do there, AJ, and got him to 199 there. It was just a beautiful pass.
Well,
from
it was a
Latrell
carbon
yet
copy
again.
of the try that AJ scored against the Roosters when we won the game there a couple of weeks ago. Exactly the same. AJ stayed on his wing. He hugged the touchline, got on the outside of his winger, and Latrell just threw a magical outball.
Yeah.
He
Big
just
Tassie it
knew-
was. Isaiah Tassett was before, but yeah, same pass.
Yeah, same pass. Yeah, exactly. And it was outstanding, the pass. And he just knew AJ was going to be there, similar to when he did it against the Roosters and Isaiah Tass was there.
Just put the one big mid up. Yeah.
Yeah, and just went scored another try untouched. I'd like to know how many of the 200 tries that he scored he's gone in untouched. And
Yeah.
absolutely sensational.
Trell just puts them on a dime sometimes. He just has these big moments in games, and you just sit back and marvel at it. Like, he's such a good player. Such a good player, Latrell.
Oh, he just had some huge moments, didn't he? I mean, I guess the next try he scored, I know RTS scored another one there, but that next try he scored, AJ, where AJ, no, we weren't contesting kicks during the game for some reason. Anyway, AJ's gone down and caught it, got out to Hubby. Hubby didn't muck around too, did he? He just went straight on to Latrell, who was pouncing onto the ball. When Latrell's going forward onto a football, it's panic stations for everyone. And that was a brilliant pass too, wasn't it?
Well, it was because the winger was in between as well. And Latrell just knew that he had to get the ball to AJ if we're going to be any hope of scoring the try. And that's exactly what he did. He sort of like got it, sped up a little bit, up the tempo, and then threw that flat pass.
Well, just go
to
back and
AJ.
look at the front-on angle of that. Anyone who wants to learn how to pass a football, there's your perfect technique. Thumbs up, fingers down, end over end.
Yeah, it was the
Brilliant
old
pass.
they call it a 6 o'clock pass. So it wasn't a spiral. It was just a 6 o'clock pass. And got to him quickly, straight in the breadbasket, and AJ was just, once again, just jolly on the spot.
Yeah. So good.
He had a little bit of work to do as well because he
Zelezny outcome and
he got caught, and then
yep.
he done well to hold the ball carrying arm so it didn't hit the ground,
Yeah.
and then he rolled over and put the ball down.
It's a bit of an underrated characteristic of AJ. He's got a little bit of strength there, especially getting through a bunch of work, getting over the line as much as he has.
Yeah, I've seen a few Roosters people on that X just bagging him, saying he's not a good winger. He just catches it and puts it down and stuff like that. Mate.
Oh,
I went back and watched a lot of the tries he's scored, and he's got inner ways on him. He can just accelerate and sort of blow wingers off if he has to. He can. Another thing he trait of AJ, which is you would never be taught this, but being a left winger, you'd think he'd carry the ball in the left hand. He carries it right hand and always tries to get the ball above the defender. So he always has the ball free. Instead of holding your left hand to palm off the defender, he does it a bit different to most wingers you'll ever see.
oh, look, he's a
freakish.
try-scoring machine, and if there's a try on offer, he will get it. He will get it scored, and to score
He
his
just had a big game. Look, 194 metres. I thought his yardage carries were good. Off-kick
Outstanding.
receptions, he beat the first guy a lot of the time, didn't he?
Yeah.
And what about 8 tackle breaks? You don't hear that from AJ. You know, he had a really big game.
Yeah.
So happy for him. And look, there's a bit of mail around that he's been offered a 1-year contract, a little bit of a reduced one, but that's probably fair enough as he's getting a bit older. I think he's on a pretty decent contract now. And hopefully they've even put a clause in his favour for the second year. Because if anyone deserves it, he's never heard any shit about him in his career. He's a real clean skin, good fella, family man there, and he should not be lost to the game and not be lost to South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Yeah,
He should retire a South Sydney Rabbitoh.
Well, a one club player, and he's a local junior as well. Laperou's Panther, come through the system at the Rabbitohs. Played Harold Matts, the SG ball, come through all the pathway system, and like you said, Chaps, if there's a player that has to be signed, I think it's AJ. Even if he breaks the record this year, he's going to go very close, especially with Cody back now. Down our left-hand side. Cody likes to play a lot down the left.
That was going to be my question. How many games, because I know there's about 14 games left of the year.
Yeah.
But how many games, do we have any more buys?
Yeah,
this year?
Well, I think we've got 13 games left. Or
I think we've got 2 buys.
Yeah,
Two
we've got
buys? Yeah, okay. So
something
he
like
pretty
that
much
left.
try a week and he's got it?
Yeah, well, he's got that in him.
Yeah,
Well-
certainly. And if we make finals, then even more of a chance.
Well, the Burrow podcast interviewed me, Joshy Kemp, the other day after the game, and he brought that up about the record being broken. I said, I think he'll break it at Allianz Stadium. Our new
Against the
home. Our
Roosters.
new home against the Roosters. No one scores more tries against. I don't know anyone in the history of the game scored more tries against the Roosters than Alex Johnson. So
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
even if he's got 2 or 3 to go, he'll get the 3. Nearly every milestone. I think his 100th game, he scored 5 tries against the Roosters. Well, we beat him 60-8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To break
Was that
Benny.
the SCG?
No,
No.
it was out at Acor.
Okay, yeah.
And to break the record of Benny Waring 146 tries, I think it was, or whatever it was.
He scored
we were
5.
there that night. He scored 3, a
Yeah.
hat trick that night.
He scored 5 against Penrith too, I think.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
scored,
He
he scored
that was,
a couple
that was
of-
earlier in his career. And
Yeah.
I think the 150th game, I think he scored a hat trick as well. I just can't remember which game that was. And then the 2-1th, another hat
Yep.
trick. So he's really got a sense of occasion, AJ, and there's no bigger sense of occasion than South v the Roosters down there, Allianz Stadium, where I think the Sin Bin Sunday he scored 2 tries too. What was that, 2022 or something like that? or
Yeah,
what it was?
23, I think.
23. So he can rise to the occasion, the great South Sydney winger himself. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, look, unfortunately, we weren't able to pull that one out of the fire. RTS had that second try, where I think it was Leka Haliasima out-leapt Campbell Graham. Don't know what he was doing out there, Leka, but
Yeah.
he got it. And they whipped it straight out to RTS. He wasn't going to make a mistake from there. But I did like that final try Trell scored, wasn't it? It was just a little block shape out the back, and he just steamed onto it.
Yeah.
And he basically said, "Get out of my way." I really like that last try. I'd like to see a bit more of that.
Yeah, well, he just when he's on Latrell, there's no better player in the game, and he just put his hand up and said, "I'm going to try and get us home here." And
Yeah.
like I said, we just ran out of time, but that was an unbelievable try. A
the
great
Dogs do it.
power run.
The Dogs do it really well as well. They run the block shape, but they get Matt Burton usually runs that lead on the left side. Trell doing that would just be unstoppable near the line. Absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah,
Even that one, I don't know if you've seen Damien Cook do it to a big Locko Junior the other day. You could probably do that with Latrell too.
Yeah.
You come across, have a flat person, you turn him underneath.
turn him underneath.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was. I'm sure they'll be looking at that one at training.
unstoppable.
Anyway, they were too good on the day, the Wars, and just great atmosphere out at the stadium. We were allowed out in the field at the end, and there was it's the biggest crowd ever from a South Warriors game in Sydney. So since they came in the competition, so even though it was tough getting the park, it was still a very good effort from the fans because it was a Sunday afternoon. You finally get one. We've got another one in a few weeks against the Bulldogs, I believe, a 4
gonna be a
p.m.
tough one.
game. So
Yeah, junior
should be a big crowd.
appreciation around junior appreciation round, and it was good to see all the kids out there doing a lap of honour. They were all got a big thrill out of it. Had a lot of smiles on their faces,
Yeah,
waving
nice.
to their families in the crowd. And a lot of photos taken. So yeah, I'm sure the kids would have loved it.
Yeah.
Now, we spoke about that earlier. Leroy brought it up. Keaon in Origin, boys. Is he in or out? What do you reckon?
I'd
Oh.
have him in. I think that Laurie's going to go with Stefano though.
Yeah, well, Stefano was in the system in game 1.
Yeah.
He was obviously on the extended bench. Terrell May, obviously there was a lot of talk about Terrell May missing out, and he hasn't gone backwards since then. He's played his normal games the last couple of games, and I think the biggest improver has been Keaon.
Yeah.
If Keaon would have been playing front row, probably 3 games before he went there, he's probably starting in game 1 because he's been outstanding. He's a form front row of the competition.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of Stefano, but you want to be going good to be going better than Keaon Koloamatangi.
Yeah, and look,
He's not going as good as Keaon.
Yeah,
I
well, there
watched
you
his
go.
games. He's going good, but
yeah.
Yeah. The only reason it's going to get him in is because he was in
Keaon's
the
doing
system.
stuff that no one in the game's doing.
Yeah.
Playing the
Yeah.
entire freaking game,
Yeah, big numbers.
and he doesn't get dominated.
Yeah.
You notice how quick he plays the ball, even if he does get put on his back.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
jumps up super quick, plays it fast because he's trying to get his team on the front foot. I was saying Big Les in the car on the way over that I reckon he's the perfect player to put on the bench for Origin because if you have a back rower goes down, he can jump in and play the whole
He'll
game
jump-
out.
yeah,
He'll jump in and play 70 minutes
Yeah.
for you.
He can play 13 as well.
He can play
Yeah.
13. You can see him doing a few tip-ons in the game. Latrell didn't like the one up here, but other than that, and he can jump in and play in the middle, front row.
Yeah.
He's a power player. He's got a bit of foot speed. Mate, he's a perfect
Yeah.
Origin player. I reckon he's in the team.
Well,
If they're fair income about
Yeah.
winning, he's in the team.
Yeah, well, look, with Barnett,
He's done it
going
before
down,
too.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Not
and
on debut.
pretty sure his last game that he played Origin, he got man of the match. So
Yeah.
he's been in that
Killed
arena
him.
before. He's dominated in that arena, and without a doubt, he'd be well suited
Yeah.
in game 2.
I definitely have him for sure. I just the chat that I'm hearing is because Stefano is going to come in for Payne Haas anyway. They're just going to throw him in. So I'm not sure. I'd love to see Keaon there.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Keaon there. I think that you'd be silly not to have him in the squad if you're not going to have him in the 17. I think he's a great player. And just with like Terrell May, I think that the difference between Terrell May and Keaon, the big thing for me, at least for the past 2 to 3 weeks, has been the aggression hitting the line.
Yeah.
Terrell May can get the stats. You know, he can have the post-contact meters and things like that. The meters, plays 70-odd minutes. It's great. But, you know, his aggression hitting the line just isn't the best, whereas Keaon has both. He can play big minutes. He can have the stats, but he can also hit the line hard, whether that's attack, whether that's defence. And I think that's the big difference for me. And it's probably why I have Keaon above Terrell May as well.
And he's got that little skip, a little bit of footwork at the line as well, where Terrell May's just, one-dimensional. But, he's been outstanding, Keaon. And wouldn't surprise me.
I don't think Terrell May's on the radar anyway, I don't think. But not for football reasons. But anyway,
okay,
we won't go into it. But there's another South Sydney player on the radar of the other team, Queensland, the team north of the border. And he had a big pitch to the media the other day at the press conference, and it was Jai Arrow. Thoughts on Jai Arrow possibly coming in and bringing a bit of aggression, especially in defence?
Well, once again, he's dominated in that arena.
Yeah.
There's no way he would let the Maroons jump her down if he was picked.
Yeah, 100%.
He's been in some great form over the last couple of weeks. He plays big minutes in the middle, and without a doubt, if he gets picked in that team, he won't let the team down 100%.
Yeah, 100%. You're totally right there, Brownie. I think that Jai Arrow, if there's one guy that you'd bring in just to have that point of difference, even though he's a bit of a smaller body, it's Jai Arrow because he just gets through a ton of work and he'll get under the other team's skin. He's done it before to plenty of other players, which is what I love about him. So I think that Jai Arrow, Corey Horsburgh, these sort of guys, get them into the side, Billy, if you know what you're doing. I think that these are the sort of guys you want in that team.
He's a dirty player, and again, Jai can play middle and edge. He's got that versatility that you need in Origin. If someone goes down early, you're gonna want them to come in and do a job. But look, I'd hate to see them both in there because we'd be bloody short. But that's the way it goes. Look, anything else on that game, boys? Before we rip into Teamless Tuesday, have a look
injuries,
at what
Chaps. We'll probably go through the injuries in a minute. But Bailey, Bentley Harpy, it looks like
a groin injury.
Groin injury. He'll be out for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
By the press conference. Hasn't been named in the Teamless Tuesday, but the other one there, Humphreys, he's been named.
Yeah. So recovered from a cork. We've seen in Origin, Crichton, big critter, Stephen Crichton. He had a pretty bad cork, didn't he, boys? He was in doubt, but. Geez, he didn't look like it affected him at all.
Yeah,
Origin won. I think he was the best player on the field to me. But look, he was very affected by it. You could see it at the game. I don't know if you could see it on camera so much, but off camera he's really limping, favouring it, and eventually succumbed to it about 10 minutes to go or something like that. And Jai Gray jumped in, and actually swapped sides. Bud swapped sides with him, and Jai jumped in at number 6 then. But anyway, well, hopefully he's fit because when he was fit before he done that cork, I thought he had some good moments. He's strong. He's show and go. He done a bit of ball playing, done some nice kicks.
Yep.
He's a real valuable member of our team.
Yeah, like the first few weeks of the competition when he was in there, he had some awesome plays, and that's the sort of thing that people notice when they watch the games. But like when he's coming back from injury, it's been a real tame sort of game from him, and he's really just focused on get the ball to Latrell when he wants it. Otherwise, I'm just going to sort of, just ball play through the middle, keep my role extremely simple, kick out of yardage when I'm needed. He's played a much more simpler game, and he's had a less highlight moments, but I think that he's played a much more controlled game, which has suited us at times as well.
100%. Leslie just simplifies his game. He does the 1% as good. He chases out a marker. He defends really strong. And like you said, he's just got to get to the ball to Latrell. And now Cody's back.
Yeah.
It's going to make his job a little bit easier.
Yeah.
We've struggled in attack, I believe, over the last 3 to 4 weeks when Cody's been missing. We haven't scored as many points. Cody takes the right options on many occasions, and we're really looking forward to Cody coming back.
He's a
We
big
really,
in.
we really needed him.
Look, going back and watching that record-breaking season from AJ, it was always Cam Murray digging in under the sticks, out the back to Cody, Cody to Latrell, and Latrell put AJ over for about 15 tries that year. So if we can get those two linking up on that left-hand side, it's going to be another money day there for Alex Johnson. You know,
Yeah, you might find
it really
that
is.
You might find that our attack might change a little bit in terms of our shape plays and. Like you just said, out the back, hitting Cody, hitting Latrell. We've got options there now.
Yeah,
the last couple of weeks, we haven't had them options.
Cody's very multidimensional. Jaden Sullivan makes opportunities with his running game, whereas Cody can beat you in a number of different ways at a number of different times. So I think that, you're probably going to see more variations in our attack.
Yeah.
Cody's going to take a lot more chances too.
And more often than not, he takes the right option.
Yep, 100%.
And getting back a guy like Jackie White and boys, what's that going to do for us? Like, you know what his energy's like.
Yeah, we met him. I met him when we went to the Old Boys Day. He's a character.
Yeah,
he's
a good fella, Jay.
Such a good bloke. But bringing him back into this team, he's going to have such an impact for us, and just defensively, just his leadership in there as well, coming up with big moments. I'm keen to see him back in this side. Yeah,
well, especially this week as well, coming back against his old club, Canberra, down there in the nation's capital. We'll be travelling down there on Sunday. It'll be cold. It'll be, a winter's day down there, and I'm sure Jack will be up for the occasion. He'll be really looking forward. He would have looked at this game on the calendar and penciled it in, let me tell you.
Yeah. And it's a huge day for the Raiders with, what's his name, Big Papa.
Yeah.
Breaking the all-time games most cap player record off Jason Croker. So 319 games I think he's going to come up with. So they're going to be right up for it. Going to have to bring everything we've got, but the inclusions of Cody Walker and Jackie White. But I also don't mind the inclusion of Liam LeBlanc. At the expense of Davey. I know Davey's one of our real stars of the future, but just been a bit off lately, Davey. Maybe defensively, just missing a few assignments.
But I don't think he's the only one.
He's probably unlucky to.
Yeah, he could probably, find himself a little bit unlucky there. Or probably maybe could have shifted one or two others out of the team instead of Davey. But in saying that, someone's got to go, and Liam LeBlanc gets his opportunity, and Jai Gray as well has missed out because Cody comes back and Bud Sullivan goes to the 14 role. So, who knows? The team mightn't, get named that way on game day. So there might be a couple of changes. We don't know.
Well, Jamie Humphries may not play. You know what I mean? Like those corks can linger, and let's hopefully. Seems like a pretty vigilant sort of young bloke. He's a bit like a Cam Murray. He'll get the cork out and do everything he can. But if Jamie Humphries doesn't play, maybe Bud Sullivan comes in at starting number 7, and then they throw Jai Gray back on the bench. So you don't know where we could end up. But look, it is what it is. Jaden Sullivan back at jumper number 14. I just want to give him a rap. I thought he was pretty good in the beaten side the other day. Just so many little things he did there in the game. The one-on-one tackles again. Just that pressure from Marco, where I think he sprinted up and made, Metcalf kick it out in the full one time there. Alex Johnson's intercept try. I know this is not a big thing, but the only person down there when he scored was from our team was him. Didn't have to sprint down there. He wasn't going to get stopped.
Yeah.
RTS was never going to get him. Even the Metcalf try. The only bloke that got all the way down there. I don't know why he slid. Did you notice he slid after it?
Yeah.
Metcalf scored and he slid after him. But
yeah.
Those are the little things that I love about this Bud Sullivan. He is just all effort, and he's competing on every single play, and I reckon that's what's won him the spot.
Yeah, 100%, and that's what you want to see from your players, just competing. And like you said, Chaps, even though he was never going to stop Metcalf, but what he did is he stopped Metcalf from bringing it under the post, and he made the kick a little bit more difficult. So
he did, yeah,
outstanding. And to get down there and congratulate AJ, that's all effort.
He took out a State of Origin player too for the season, by the way. Not that he meant that, but the show and go took Barnett out of this whole game.
Yeah.
And if you have a look at that, he had his hands free. If Campbell Graham could have pushed up, he could have put Campbell Graham away there. So he had some little half chances that he created for his team.
Yeah.
Look, there's probably a few things he could have done better, but I'm thinking every single player on the field could have done that. But Bud Sullivan. I don't mind having him jump there at jumper number 14. I think he's earned it there.
Yeah.
Les.
And his running game, just a little bit of a bigger body than Jai.
Yep.
Obviously can come on in a few different roles.
Agreed.
I like Bud Sullivan there at that 14 jersey, and he was good there at the start of the year. Remember he was there at the start of the year, played 14, come on just through the middle of his running game and broke the game open a little bit.
Yep.
I love that version of him as well. I think that he's so effective in that role. So, yeah, keen to see how he goes at 14.
Chaps, and we've got our own milestone down there as well.
Yeah, Ewan Aitken plays his 200th game. I know he hasn't been at the club a very long time, but I think he's starting to come into his own. He's pretty quick, Ewan Aitken, for a back rower, and he covers a bit of ground. And probably that one from dummy half, I thought he was going to go over and score there after that.
After Bud Sullivan.
Yeah, but it wasn't to be. But
right.
yeah, he's had a few good moments in the last few weeks, old Ewan Aitken. So congratulations to you and your family, mate. Big milestone.
Yeah, Wayne's had a lot to do with Aitken. You know, throughout his career, he's played at a number of different clubs where Wayne has been at, and I'm sure it's a big reason why he come down to the South Sydney Rabbitohs because Wayne actually signed as a coach and he followed him down there. So, yeah, outstanding achievement, 200 games, and he's been really good since moving to the back row. Another player that just competes on every play.
Yep.
A great effort player, and like you said, Chaps, I thought he was going to score that try when he went from dummy half, but yeah, it wasn't to be. But yeah, looking for a big game from Ewan Aitken. Hopefully the boys can get the job done for him.
Yeah, really tough, good defender. He's had a great career so far, and yeah, keen to see how he goes in his 200th game. I'm sure the boys are going to get around him.
But they're pretty much the best team in the comp. They've won the most games out of anyone. Sitting right up the top. They haven't had a bye, the Raiders, I don't think. So maybe they're going to be tired, hopefully. But they had a really tough game against the Roosters up here and come out on top. Just pure foot speed. They do everything 100 miles an hour. Jamal Fogarty comes back, the veteran halfback. Thought little Sanders played really well in his debut. Was that his debut?
Yeah,
I think.
Canberra debut. I think it was his second inaugural game.
Yeah, he might have played for the Eels. But yeah, nice little kicking game. He's got a future about him. He's going to get some game time when Jamal leaves. But this backline, KO Weeks, he is frightening. On quick returns, I mean, we're going to have to do a heck of a job on him.
They are so fast.
Ethan Strange, I think, is going to be the one to watch for me. He was outstanding last week.
Yeah, Ethan Strange. What about Savage? How hard he is to stop 10 out. When he's on, he ran through Angus Crichton, an Origin player, made him look second rate. And the other one, Tamale, the guy they got from the Dragons, hasn't he not been a find or what?
Yeah, he's been unreal, and he's made it
So
very
underrated.
Very hard for Ricky to drop him. He got dropped, I think, a little bit earlier in the season for maybe Alba Hopewada when he came back from an injury.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he just plays so good in New South Wales Cup. He was like, you know what, I can't leave you out of this team. So he's nailed down a spot. Really talented player. Definitely doing my super coach a lot of favours just quietly. But, yeah, great player.
Their outside backs are so athletic. They're so fast. They're so big. They're so mobile. They're just real athletic players, and they've got a really well-balanced team down there. It's no wonder, they're up there near the top of the table, and absolutely a big forward pack. Bit of experience there as well with,
Big
Papa
Papa,
Lee and,
Hudson.
you've got Tapine there, and they've got a lot of youth there as well. So
Big Red's playing for an Origin spot too, Corey Horsburgh.
Exactly.
That's going to be a big game for us. Huge game for us through the middle.
It's one-on-one, mate. Joy Arrow and Horsburgh for an Origin spot. Oh, and Paddy, outstanding as well the other day. A little hooker.
Yeah.
Couple
He's
of
going to come off the
40-20s.
bench. You got Tommy Starling coming back. He had a week or two off there. So, look, they're going to have their tails up. We come away on top in this one. I think this will be the biggest win we've had all season.
Yeah,
definitely.
And
I don't think it's beyond us. I really like the fact that Cody's taken his time coming up. They didn't rush him back this time.
Yep.
He wasn't ready last time. He just looked a little slow, a little off the pace. I think his last game we were beaten by Canterbury 32-0 or something. Was that the last game he played? I think he's played too many games since then. He was just off the pace. The Dogs cut his time. I'm hoping he's just got a bit of foot speed back. Been working really hard there at training. Seen him play a few reps last week at 5'8", and straight away he just put people over for tries in the 13-on-13 drills. So let's hope he's
and I'm sure
comes back and hits the ground running.
Yeah, I'm sure the rest of the boys will take a lot of confidence out of them boys being back as well. Two experienced players, Jackie White and Cody. I'm sure the rest of the team will lift for them, and hopefully the boys can get the job done. Like you said, it's going to be a tough ask to go down there, the nation's capital, and come back with the 2 points.
They're
But
playing
it's
for a
not
lot.
beyond us.
They are playing for a lot, Canberra, because if they win this one, I'm pretty sure that they go to first.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you said, they haven't had a bye yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they could go to first here if they win, and then obviously have the bye. They get the 2 points there. There's a lot to play for. Big Red playing for Origin, them playing for first in general. Yeah, super tough game.
I just really like the fact that our attack is going to improve immensely with the likes of Cody and Jack Whiten
And I
back
think
in the team.
Off the back of the Warriors game, we're going to take a lot of mental notes just in regards to where we went wrong at halftime or just before halftime, and then what that did for our second half. And obviously, as we were sort of talking about, if that changes and we end the first half on a good note, it really just decides the rest of the game for us. So I think that, having a real good start to the game and a real good first half is going to do a lot of things for us.
Well, we spoke about their backline. We've got a great backline as well. Humphreys, Walker, Campbell Graham, Whiten, Johnson, Latrell. Isaiah Tash has had some huge moments in his career, scoring big tries, winning tries. So hopefully they might set up like that and Isaiah Tash scores another winning try to knock off the Raiders down there.
We haven't put a dead set solid 80-minute performance together all year, and hopefully this week is the perfect time to do it and come away with the 2 points. It'll be, like you said, Chaps, it'll be an unbelievable win if we can go down there and get the 2 points, because they are flying at the moment, Canberra.
I got the Bunnies by 4 in that one, boys. Just to throw it out there.
Love it, mate. What's that paying?
Don't know. Haven't looked yet. I've got no money in my tab account. Anyway. The Bunnies cost me a couple of multis on the weekend. Had them in the win by 1-6. It was the other way around. The other mob won 1-6.
Mate.
But
You're on strike now, are you?
yeah, I'm on strike. I'll have a week off, mate. No, I'll dive back in. Don't worry about
That's
that.
all you need.
Now, New South Wales Cup's going to play after first grade this week, which happens a fair bit down there. It's a regular thing. Especially if the Raiders get that 2 o'clock game, they generally have their Cup games after it. So we're going to play the Canberra Raiders, who are a pretty good side. And obviously we had a few blokes dropped. Jai Gray's come back. He's going to play fullback. And Dave Milwali in the front row. That'll be big because you probably noticed Shaq Mitchell got hurt last week. Me and Browny called that game.
Yep.
Out at Redfern last week. We were beaten 18-6, was it? 24-6?
Yep.
By the Warriors. The halves just didn't really create anything. We had a lot of sets of 6 on the line. Just a lot of sideways stuff. The forwards played all right. The backs got some yardage. They just lacked a bit of polish in the halves last week. Louis Dodd just sort of didn't really get anywhere near and engage that line. He's let's hopefully he can bounce back this week. He's got a great little kicking game on him, but just other parts of his game, it's just got to come on, Brownie, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. He needs to really just take the game by the scruff of the neck and really dominate and just demand the ball in attacking situations. Touch the ball.
Doesn't touch the ball enough for mine. 4
and 5 times in every set of 6, especially when we're in good ball position, attacking raids. He's got to touch the ball more and start to put some plays on. But looking at the players coming back, it really strengthens our New South Wales Cup side this week. Jai Gray at fullback.
Well, the huge in, mate. Tyrone Munro, the Redfern Ferrari. Don't worry about the Taree Ferrari. He's the Redfern Ferrari, mate. Look, he's someone that's just plagued by injuries. Big Les, I know you'd love to see him get a few games under his belt.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the plan is with him. I mean, we were thinking he was going to play Cup anyway, no matter what, because he only played 8 first-grade games.
Yep.
People are saying, you should be in front of Tass, but Tass has played 59 first-grade games. He's showed he's reliable. He shows he doesn't get hurt. He backs up every week. He's tough. He might not be the quickest bloke off the mark, but he knows how to finish a try, and he's a real
I think we spoke about it last week, Chaps, about playing him, for a couple of weeks in the lower grades, just to get his body, get some contact, get some miles in the legs, and not rush the young kid this time. He's played 8 games, and it was all sort of like back to back after injuries, and he really couldn't get a roll on with, back-to-back games. He was getting injured in games, and a try-scoring machine, entertainer at its best. But I think the best thing to do was play a couple of games in New South Wales Cup, and when he gets an opportunity to make sure he's ready.
I want to see him play at least 5 games before I bring him into first grade New South Wales Cup. I just want to see him show that he can, put a solid 5 games together where he can play the full game. and make a real impact there.
And don't
Well,
worry.
Hazen Mellors has been pretty strong.
Exactly. No, I was just about to say
He's
that.
been really strong. Yardage carries, very athletic.
Yeah.
Under the high ball, I think he's the best player in our game. In our whole organisation under the high ball. He's incredible the way he can get off the ground and bring the ball down and stuff like that. So,
And he's another player.
don't worry, Wayne Bennett was out there last week watching it. So,
Yeah, and I was just,
How close is Hazen, you reckon?
we don't know, mate. I'm not too sure. I mean,
how what?
he's probably
close
got a
is he
few
to
weaknesses
making
in
his
his
debut, you
game,
reckon?
but
Oh, he's not too far away. let me tell you.
physically he's ready now. He's
Yeah.
big enough and strong enough.
He's not too far away.
Talanoa Penatani, he's got better every week. He's real physical too. He just does everything 100 miles an hour. Runs every hit up he does. He put up some really good stats the other day. Penatani, he can probably run the length too. Brownie's pretty quick.
I reckon he'd be one of the fastest players in the club. Looking at it,
Yeah,
apart from AJ.
Mm.
At this stage, I don't know who.
Tai would be up there too. Yeah.
Well, Tai, on his day, but he looks really elusive. Penatani.
It's a good side. Like Tim Johansson's been really good, real good worker. I love the back rows. Hosty was good last week. Thomas Fletcher, so tough. Thomas Fletcher. They belted him every time he got up and played the ball.
Yeah.
Made a lot of big tackles. He's getting his running game starting to go. Brownie, he's looking a lot better.
You know my call? I want to move Talis Duncan into the middle and give Thomas Fletcher a run on the edge.
Yeah,
He's
a genuine edge player. Yeah,
Well-
I like Talis Duncan in the middle too.
Yeah. I just think he's getting a little bit lost out there on the edge. Put him back in the middle, similar to what we did with Keaon.
Yeah.
A middle player. He's got good footwork at the line. He's big enough. He's strong enough. He's a good defender.
Well, it sort of simplifies his role a little bit
It
too.
does,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're sort of right in the sense he does get a little bit lost on the edge there.
Well, he's just not dominating out there.
Yeah,
He had a lot of missed tackles on the weekend. Talis, yeah.
yeah, he has a lot more impact through the middle. So
Yeah.
I agree. I don't mind that. I don't mind that shout at all.
So,
And my old mate
Wayne,
here,
if you're watching,
Hey,
Take my advice.
just quickly before we move off this one, Joe Hansen got him from the Tigers, right? Real good player.
Yeah.
He looks really tough. He's a big boy as well.
mate, he
Big
scored
body.
a few tries. Has he
Yeah, he
scored
was
our
good.
last the only try we scored was him the other day?
Yeah.
Like, I think he scored a try nearly every week.
He's
Yeah.
played first grade too. I think he's played 1 or 2 games for the Tigers.
he has.
And he
yeah,
does
has.
2 head-ups in a set of 6 sometimes.
His
Like,
carries are really good, really strong.
Yep.
he's a worker.
Very
Yep.
rarely gets dominated, lands
It's
on
not
his front.
huge, but he's a worker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's too far off making our 17 either, just quietly.
No, and Schuster still on that extended squad. Not sure what's going on with Big Joshy and one of the real greats of our club there, Tayson Fukayoso. He's back.
Oh, I thought you were going to swear.
The big fuck's back,
Get
mate.
the
So
square jar out.
he's a big unit, big fucko. So
And
And the day before?
I thought Tovai's been really strong as well, chaps. I just want to give him
a lot of PCMs. Yep.
a rap. You know,
I think he
Junior-
nearly leads the competition in post-contact meters.
He's come up through the A grade system, the pathways there, and he's been really strong. He's really adapted to the New South Wales Cup speed of the game and the physicality of it. I think he's been really good.
And Jersey Flegg, we're beaten by the Warriors on the bell. Like we're up, we're down, we're up. It was a really good game
The
actually.
game we should have won.
We called it there. If you want to go back and look at the highlights of that one, we're playing the Raiders this week. The day before on the Saturday, Belconnen Oval, 2 p.m. Got a great skate park down there, Belconnen. One of the best in Australia. That one, by the way. If
You
you're
get on the
down there.
board, do you, chaps?
Not anymore, mate. No, the dicky knees don't handle it. But yeah,
What
still
about
love
Fish Week? Anything at Fish Week?
nice to be able to pull out the old kickflip, mate.
Fish Week.
Don't worry about
The
that.
suburb of Fish Week.
Fish Week, yeah, you can get a lot of good stuff down there. Yeah. in more ways than one.
Yeah.
So yeah, the flag there, Charlie Poynton,
Was
who
Fish
would
Week a
have been playing for
skateboard
your
move
team.
too, is it?
Huh?
Is Fish Week a skateboard move?
No, Fish Week's not a skateboard move, mate. Starfish is, but Charlie Poynton, who was supposed to play for South East,
Yeah.
they thought, but unfortunately, as we mentioned last week, Dane Towns probably out for the season, broken leg. Played well, Charlie Poynton. Charlie Mann comes in, real powerful outside back, real yardage carry man. Benny Geary comes in for the injured Ruggles, who I thought he was pretty nearly the man of the match last week. So tough, saying Ruggles. I think he copped a head knock. I'm hoping he's not injured again, but
Yeah, he scored a great
If
try.
he is, he won't tell you.
Yeah, no, he's as tough as nails,
Yeah.
Ruggo, and
Yeah.
we said it in the commentary. Yeah, like you said, Chaps, I thought he was one of the better players as well. Scored a great try, come up with some really nice plays, some good defensive plays, and he caused the Warriors all sorts of trouble all day.
it was almost the reason we lost in the end because he went off for a HIA and they scored right where he would have been. And
Exactly.
poor old Sammy Taylor, who was a backup hooker, had to go in their position and they came down his side. Speaking of one of his coaches the day before at the junior footy, and he singled Ruggo out as, geez, he had a good game,
Yeah.
He goes, geez, he's tough, that kid.
Yeah.
Matthew Humphreys, he was pretty good as well. Nicholas Quinn, they're always really good guys to watch. And it's Kaorangi Matthews too. I think he's making his debut this week, the second rower. Really impressive in the jersey flag. So anyway, really impressive in the SG Ball, during the season. So they give him a little tap on the shoulder to come up and give the boys a hand there. And it's starting to get must win for the flag now.
Where are we sitting? Where are we sitting for flag?
We'd only won the 3 games up until
right.
last week. So we've got to start getting on the horse. Should have won last week. We've let a few slip at the moment. But, we'll see how we go.
All right.
Is that about it, boys?
That's it, mate. That's
About it.
That might be about it for another edition of Rabbitohs Radio Podcast. Up the mighty Rabbitohs.
Up the Rabbitohs.
Up the bunny.